I know it's getting to be crunch time on this testing, but you gotta hang in there, all right? So we're gonna talk about the Red Scares, because there's two of them, and you wanna make sure that you know both. Welcome to Frickin' History, and if you want a 3, 4, or a 5 on your AP World, A-Push, or AP Euro exam, I'm the guy to see. All right, no, so the first Red Scare happening in the United States, you have to think about the late 19 teens, early into the 20s after World War II. You know the Russian Revolution was happening, and so it was causing a lot of panic in the United States. Increase of immigration always raised those awarenesses, and so that was going to eventually lead to this first Red Scare. And this is where the Palmer raids come in. So the Attorney General Mitchell Palmer set up raids that were going to go in and root out communist immigrants out of the United States using violent mechanism. Communist, socialists, gotta get them out. He arrested thousands, up to around 6,000 people, a lot of them without warrants, ended up with 650 deportations. But he had a mingling on the side. That mingling that we're talking about is J. Edgar Hoover, and he parlayed the success of the Palmer raids and his involvement to become the first head of the FBI. But we're not done, because in the 1950s, communism is coming back. Rising tensions, okay? And it's between Stalin and President Truman, who had taken over for FDR, president for life. And there was a lot of mistrust, a lot of undoing about the free elections that were going to be happening in Eastern Europe that didn't happen. So there was a lot of things that both sides were not okay with. And in 1949, that started coming to a head, because after the loyal oaths that Truman was asking for within the government, you had one Joseph McCarthy making claims that there were communists in the State Department. This is where you got to know the re-rising of the HUAC committee, which was run by one Richard Nixon, who also parlayed this into a big position. What did he do again? That led into the McCarthyism and the panic of communists in our government. You need to know the Rosenbergs. You need to know about the Hiss trial. And this was the pandemonium that was happening in the 1950s in this anti-communist setting. The difference is they hit places like Hollywood. This is where you had the Hollywood 10 being blacklisted, people losing their jobs and their access, producers, actors, all kinds of different players. They felt Hollywood was propaganda and they were pushing it. But the bottom line is McCarthyism and that panic finally came to an end when he actually pushed the U.S. Army into being communist. That's a step too far. And even when President Eisenhower was in hearing this, he had had enough of McCarthy. But McCarthy actually died. He actually died of acute hepatitis about 3 years later. And now you know your freaking history. Peace.